I think it's time for a change. So, for those who have been here for a while, since the very beginning of my channel, those of you would know that I've had this chair since the beginning, and it's broken. Over here, in this arm, over here, it's not supposed to be doing that. The hinge on the seat does not work anymore. So, I have to make the big decision. I have to get rid of it and get a new one. And luckily, the new one is already here and it's already been put together. So I'm going to get rid of this one and pull out the new one in 1 second. All right, guys, here it is. The unveiling of the brand new chair. Totally not almost exactly the same chair. I can explain. I know what you're thinking. What the hell happened to the old setup? And you know what? I had just decided that I needed change. I needed a different atmosphere, something a little bit more motivating because the last setup was too comfortable. And I just figured, why not change it up a bit? I had gotten a desk from my dad while he was moving, and I used this table to be like the base of my setup, and the old one is right there. Obviously, you can see it back there. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys like the little montage of how I got this whole thing set up with like recordings of me talking and, you know, all of that with a voiceover and all of that, just to show you the process of how I got here, because it's a fucking sweet ass setup. All right, let's just go into this. All right, guys, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna change this whole entire setup. We're basically just gonna put everything that's over here with some slight modifications, and also on top of that, I did a little splooging, and I got some RAM for my computer so it's faster. So hopefully I can do streams and gaming and all of that all at once. So then my computer's faster. So let's get into that. So one of the main reasons why I wanted to change the entire setup was because I had bought new RAM for my computer. I had bought a 32 gigabyte RAM, two 16s, and I added it to my already 16 gigabyte RAM. I thought with that, why not do the entire setup and just change everything around so it's more motivating and more accessible and more easier to make content. So I took a little bit of time to clean out my computer just so it looked all pretty and cleaned off everything, because everything had dust because I haven't really made any content in a long time. So as you can see here, I am inserting RAM inside my computer so that I can run faster. Ah, look at those puppies. So now that my computer is pretty much done, now I have to figure out everything else to kind of go within the setup. I wanted to get to the monitors first because they're on a dual monitor stand, and the fun little quirky thing about this desk is that it goes up. So you can see me trying to unscrew everything, put them on their own separate stands, trying to figure out how they actually fit on the stands, because I've never actually put them on their own individual stands. I've always had them on the dual monitor stands ever since I was in a friend's closet making YouTube videos way back when, in the before time. What I decided to do was to tear down my gaming station setup with the PlayStation and whatnot, and put both of my PlayStations on top and then my computer inside. Alright guys, so I'm gonna stop doing B-roll because now I'm at the part where it's just the cords and all of that. I'll do some shots here and there, maybe of the wiring stuff, but That's going to be a long and tedious process, you know, so I'm going to skip over that, and then I'll show you guys the next bit of this. So give me 1 second. So my dumbass forgot to turn back on my microphone on my camera. I basically had just skipped a day or two or three, and I just did a bunch of B-roll after that last clip. So here's a bunch of B-roll. But yeah, so this is basically the entire setup. We have my PlayStation stuff over here, followed by my computer. And then over here, we have my Switch, followed by my Wii U, just so I have a Nintendo area and a PlayStation area. And then the entire setup for the games would be all separated through switches, so that when it comes to screen recording them, I could do that just by hitting a couple buttons. So one of the main things that I wanted to do was to make sure that all of the cable setup was all in order and things had enough space, just so everything was manageable and not all over the place. Considering this entire setup probably has about 70 different cords, whether it's going in or out or in or up or down and up. There's just a lot of cords here and a lot of meticulous things that need to be figured out so that things will work. On the back panel of the desk, there is a cork board thing covering up the back of the shelves. And so I unscrewed a little bit of the one side so I can fit cords and fed them through inside. I have my mic stuff set up in the back of my monitor. So over here we have a tote filled with my VR stuff, followed by my VR home base thing, whatever you want to call it, because I have not used my VR pretty much since I've moved in. And so I wanted to make sure that I had my VR set up. Everything was all situated and figured out so I could do that as well. Some stuff that I didn't record was the process of hanging up this tapestry. That it's not really tapestry, it's just my sound stuff. It's not all the way down to the floor how this is. It's actually folded upwards so it has more sound dampening in front of me. The camera placement, I wanted to do the camera in a way where I can just look directly at you and it's not looking down or looking up. I just wanted a, we're on equal terms, that kind of thing. And so I just think that this works out better. And I'm not having to jump up on top of anything or whatever. I can just reach over, do whatever, and then that is that. So another thing that I wanted to do was make sure that the lighting was better than the last time, so that I can do different kind of mood sets. We have this one over here. You might have noticed that when I was zoomed out, you might have seen the little luminescent thing on the screen. That is because my lens that I have is too far apart and it's got like lens flares in it. So I had to take that off, so that's not there. And then this whole lighting setup, this works for right now, but give me a second. So now we have the blue, which I think that this is a cool setup because there's a blue outline, it just looks better. It's a chill time. So when I decide to stream, which is the next thing I wanted to get to. So one of the bigger things that I wanted to start doing was I wanted to do streams. And so with this setup, how I've kind of got it set up is I have this one as like my main YouTube stuff, so that like the background isn't too complicated. It's somewhat simple. And then I have my actual webcam that I'm gonna use for streaming, because for some reason this camera doesn't work, but that one does for streaming. I mean, this picks up, but it flickers. For some reason, I just need a new camera for that one. If you guys wanna help me, links in the description if you wanna help me out. Anyway, so for that one, it shows the original setup for the most part. Might be some stuff here and there I might have to sort out with that and then streaming and all of that, but more information on that in the future. And now for the grand finale, I lift my desk. My desk comes up about 18 inches or so, but it allows me to do standing stuff if I decide to. I haven't really necessarily figured it all out yet as far as like my camera placement while it's up, but we're going to figure that out. But this is the entire setup as of now, and hopefully I can make more content, and this would be more motivating for me to do more content. And that's basically it. This is the brand new setup as of now until I decide to move or don't move. We're just gonna have to figure that out at the end of July. But this is my current setup as of now, and I'm hoping to make more content for you guys soon. Like as soon as possible, like after this video, make more content. But for now, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, like and subscribe. Comment below how you guys are doing, what you guys thought, and yeah. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.